I came to the conclusion that there will never be another time in my life where I am this excited for a storm to cancel an Eagles game. What is going on, everyone? This football game was so hard to watch. It was so brutal. I'm telling you, I'm so proud of the weather today for coming up with some lightning strikes near Lincoln Financial Field, so I didn't have to watch any more of that garbage. The first half, embarrassing. All the flags, so many penalties. I couldn't stand even tuning in anymore. Of course I did, but I couldn't stand it. There are some things to talk about when it comes to tonight's game. But before we do, free $20. That's essentially a free ticket. Free $20. Use the promo code BRODES when you are checking out of your SeatGeek purchase. This game. I'll start off with this. I was a little bummed that Carson Wentz didn't get the nod when I saw Jason Kelce, when I saw Jason Peters, Deshaun Jackson, Alshon Jeffrey, Nelson Aguilar, Zach Ertz. I was a little bummed, but I'm not going to cry about it. Of course I would like to see him get reps, but I understand that the risk isn't worth it. You just saw what happened to Cam Newton. He went down in tonight's preseason game and he left the arena in a walking boot. So when I hear Seth Joyner after the game get all pissed off and he's disgusted that we're not playing Carson Wentz because he's not going to be ready for game speed, his argument made no sense. He stated, look what happened to Cam Newton. It can happen at any time. Exactly. So why put Carson Wentz in a preseason game that doesn't matter if it can happen then? Yeah, it can happen in week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4 of the NFL regular season, yes. But it can also happen in a preseason game that means nothing. So why put him in that position? He was playing the whoa, back in my day type vibe. And just relax. I mean, this is reality. This is the way it goes. Teams value the training camp and the joint practices. They value that more than the preseason. So, of course, I would like to see him in there, but the Eagles didn't want to throw him out there, and I'm okay with it. Maybe it's because Lane Johnson wasn't in, and Brooks wasn't in, although Vitae has been making some noise there in that position. There's no reason to cry about it. Will there be some rust? Maybe. But is rust better than an injury? Yup. Yes, it is. So no Carson Wentz. And we'll stay with the quarterbacks. Whoa, was Cody Kessler bad? Oh my God. What's he doing? He's afraid to throw the football. I've never seen a quarterback be afraid to actually throw the football. He holds on to it so long, he's getting sacked. I mean, dude, what are you doing? Alshon Jeffrey's right in front of him. Throw the ball. He stinks, safe to say. See you later. And let's talk about Josh McCown. Yes, Josh McCown had a good game today. I can't believe I'm hearing these statements saying, whoa, it looks like we found our number 2. Yeah, he was our number 2 to begin with. He came out of retirement to join the Eagles. He wasn't doing that to be a 4th-string, 3rd-string quarterback. I think that was obvious when we made the move that he was going to be your backup quarterback. After some tough plays early on, he found a rhythm, and he was playing well. His stat line finished 192 yards, 2 touchdowns, 17 of 24. He looked like a veteran quarterback out there, and yeah, I mean, he's 40 years old. He's got a ton of experience. I would think in a preseason game against some second-teamers there in Baltimore that he'd be able to do it. I wouldn't expect him to have nerves. I'm not too, oh, wow, I can't believe he's doing this with only 3 practices. He's an 18-year veteran in a preseason game where everything's vanilla as hell. I expected him to go out there and be able to make some throws happen there in a preseason game against the Ravens. The time and the length of time that he has been in Philadelphia, I'm not all impressed with that. It's standard plays being ran right now. People aren't putting good plays on tape. They're not running these obnoxious different routes. It's so simple. It's so vanilla-based. He goes in there. Doug Peterson tells him what's in the helmet, and he makes it happen. But good for him. I'm glad that he stepped in there, and now this fan base is all happy that they found themselves a backup quarterback that they can rely on after a preseason game. The biggest storyline for me today was JJ Arcega-Whiteside. Over 100 yards in 8 receptions and a touchdown. He was catching everything, and it's not just his catching ability. You can see it, right? You can see how he boxes people out. He uses his arms, kind of like Alshon Jeffrey. You can see that. But at times, he was planting his feet, putting the ball in the right arm. He was making plays happen after the catch. JJ Arcega-Whiteside, and some really nice route running as well. If we weren't so stacked on offense, we would look at that draft pick and be pumped. We grabbed this kid out of Stanford who's a beast, who can really use his body, who can be this red zone threat, right? But because we're so stacked at the receiver position, it almost goes unnoticed as if it's like, oh yeah, we have this fourth wide receiver. Well, this fourth wide receiver is going to be a stud. A stud. We knew that before this preseason game, but it's just cool to see him do it out there. He's legit. Him and Dallas Goedert, I'm pumped for. In regards to this offense and some younger guys in this offense. Corey Clement, he was able to go out there and play. He had 7 carries, 25 yards. He had one really nice run there, a nice gain, and Big V with a beautiful block to make that happen on the right side. It was nice to see Corey Clement get some touches. Doug Peterson, after the game, said that they saw Miles Sanders and they saw Jordan Howard in earlier preseason weeks. It's time for Corey Clement to go out there and get some feel, get some touches, because he hasn't played since the injury, of course. So Corey Clement went out there, and it looked like he had some juice surrounding him. And same with Rodney Mcleod. Rodney Mcleod was all over the field today, making tackles, being a stud, being a leader back there with Malcolm Jenkins. Rodney Mcleod was a dog today, and you could just see both of those players, Corey Clement and Rodney Mcleod, with smiles on their faces. They couldn't be any happier to be back on that football field, to be back in the link, and it was really cool to see in their post-game interviews. Their faces were lit up with joy, just talking about how much fun they had and how great it was to be back making plays, and that was really cool to see. In regards to Andre Dillard, he had some learning curves today. Let's go there. It wasn't his cleanest football game. He was called for some penalties, but in reality, who wasn't with this refereeing crew in the game, of course. But I thought Andre Dillard showed some rookie mistakes today, and that's fine. That's going to happen. I never expected him to come into the NFL and never have a flag ever and never have a learning moment. He's going to have to learn. I didn't think today was his strongest game ever, and that goes with Mailata as well. It wasn't his strongest game either. They were a little off, if you will. Someone who wasn't off is Greg Ward. And this is a discussion right now. And realistically, at the end of the day, is it a huge difference maker on who we keep for that last wide receiver spot? Not really. But the debate is Mac Hollins, who we know can be a special teams guy and who has been on the roster before, or Greg Ward. And Greg Ward is all over the place. He's making catches left and right. Not the flashiest catches in the world, but everything I've read up on this guy throughout training camp is he just makes the catches. He is consistently making catches. He is consistently putting himself in a position to be open for his quarterback. And is it possible that Greg Ward makes the roster over someone like Mac Hollins? It is, and I think he's putting up a good argument for that. Be interesting to see how it plays out. TJ Edwards intrigues the hell out of me. He was making tackles all over the field as well. Nice little undrafted player from Wisconsin. I remember when we signed him after the draft, I was pretty pumped and intrigued with how he would turn out to be. And he's someone who I've definitely watched and enjoyed play throughout training camp and the preseason. Let's go to the kicking game. Jake Elliott missed another one today in that 40 range. The guy is lights out from 50, 55, 58, 61. How does he mess up so much from 45 and in? It's crazy. It's unbelievable. But he missed another one today, and that's really how his career is gone. He's got to find a way to get more consistent. It can come back to bite us. We watched the Bears fall apart this year due to the kicking game. Now, I'm not going to compare him to Cody Parkey, but let's go. Work on it. Find a way. If you can be drilling these 55, 58, 61s, how much harder can it be to drill a 41? Make it happen. Put the time in. Come on. And I know I don't care, and I'm sure you don't either, about the Baltimore Ravens and how they played. But McSorley was out there looking like a stud. He was all over the place. He was running. He was making plays happen. He threw for 203 yards, 2 touchdowns. What was he, 19 for 28? So he was entertaining to watch run around a little bit for whatever that means. You didn't see Lamar Jackson out there for the Ravens, so, it was cool to see him play. Obviously, we watched him play at Penn State, and I watched Penn State play a lot last year, so for what it is, a little entertaining to see him run around and yeah, so with that being said, I want to hear your thoughts down below on this game, on Carson Wentz not playing, Josh McCown's situation in his night, Corey Clement, Rodney McLeod. Let me know your thoughts down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.